time. So it is good. Little rain, we need it,
Yeah.
but I think it's supposed to be beautiful coming forward here the weekend and next week.
Perfect. Same here, except the tornadoes.
There you go. And I believe the last time we were on, we were conflicting with the launch of the SpaceX spacecraft. I know we do not have to worry about that here this morning, which is a good thing. So
No,
we've
that's
got everybody's
tomorrow.
attention out there. Yes, so we got everybody's attention out there to learn more about our Schwab website, one of the great tools that we offer our clients to get lots of information on this. So a couple things before we get started. One, if you would like a copy of the slides, although this being a demonstration, there's really not a whole lot of content in the slides. If you'd like a copy of them, please get a hold of us here at Schwab, either call our 800 number or get a hold of the branch network, your financial consultant or an associate financial consultant. I'm sure we can get you a copy of the slides. But today is really more about demonstration. And to make demonstration worthwhile, of course, Mark and I have an agenda of what we know lots of people ask and what they're looking for. We're going to go over that. But of course, if there's anything that you would like us to address, please type in your question. Let us know what you're looking for. We will do our very best to make sure we address everything that comes through, what you're looking for, where to find the information, and obviously make better decisions in our financial lives. Mark, anything to add on top of that?
Yeah, at some point we're going to look at individual stocks and ETFs and mutual funds, and obviously that's just for education. It's not recommendations or anything like that. So the usual disclosures apply too. So with that, let's drive on.
Absolutely, yeah, I like that. Any of the things we go over, education only, not recommendations from us. I can reiterate that twice. You can never disclaim too many times on that. Secondly, any of the other disclaimers are available here at the bottom of the screen. So, all right, let's go on. So we're going to take a step forward, but the first place we're going to stop, we're not actually going to go into the Schwab website. We're going to go into a site that we've created called Go Digital. The website is schwab.com/go-digital. And the reason we point this out is this site brings to highlight some of the important things that you can do very quickly for yourself so you don't even have to call us. Okay, on here, notice we highlight some of the important things that we know our clients use, such as moving money online between accounts, not only internally at Schwab, but between Schwab and outside firms. Okay, you can do that very quickly here. We give a portal to that in our Go Digital site, potentially using a little bit of our mobile application. So putting it on either an iPhone or an Android device where you can make a check deposit. Love that feature. Very quick. You can take a picture of your check, get it deposited into your account. On top of this, I know one of the big things, not only myself, I'm sure Mark, you are concerned, as all of our clients are, is when we're navigating in the electronic environment, we're concerned about our virtual safety, are concerned about our data. We do give a link to what we see here, Schwab Safe, where you can go in there and read, and we'll tell you all the things that you can do to help protect yourself online. And we give a great glimpse of what we do to protect all your information also. Scrolling down slightly on the page here on Go Digital, we highlight some of the things that you are able to do. We know these are things that you can call us on, but it goes much quicker when you can just actually access the information, such as setting up alerts for the debit cards you have associated with your account, unlock or lock your card that you have through Schwab Bank, or potentially put a travel notice out there. Okay, you're going to take a quick trip. Mark, I know you go to Hawaii quite often. Maybe you put
not
a
as
travel notice
often
to
today,
Hawaii.
but yeah, that's so that the debit card keeps working and it's not automatically blocked from a fraud perspective. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Then finally down here at the bottom, we do put a link to some of the videos that we've created to show you how to do some of these specific items. Okay, I clicked on the link there that you can pull it up, and here are some of the videos that we have already added on there, such as a demonstration of our mobile app, or even more specifically, how to make that actual mobile deposit.
Yeah, I'd really encourage everybody to remember the schwab.com/go-digital, because it gives you the instant answers you need to many of the common questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So at this point, what we're going to do is let's go actually into the Schwab website and start taking a look at some of the important information that is available to all of us as investors and Schwab clients. All right. So what I have done is I have actually pulled up the regular Schwab website. We are in a dummy account right now. So we are taking a look at the information that is available to us. And what we're going to do is we are going to walk through some of the tabs across the top of the screen, and then some of the sub tabs that are available, and some of the important information and services and features that we offer to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, notice when I hover over one of the tabs, notice I'm hovering over the accounts tab, it does open up a menu that shows you all the secondary tabs, plus all the sub tabs underneath the secondary tabs. We're going to call those the tertiary tabs. So you can see all that information there, and you can quickly navigate to any one of those. So notice I went over to the research area, a lot more information there available on research. Mark, let us start out maybe on the accounts tab and just the summary page. And notice right up here on the top, we're looking at something called personal value. Mark, would you walk us through a little bit about how you see clients and how you use that personal value screenshot right there that we're seeing in front of us?
You bet, Robert. And what this allows us to do is either take a look at a specific account or more likely all of our accounts. And if you highlight the various time frames over on the right, Robert, you can look back. We're currently looking at year to date. You can look at 6 months. Actually, we're looking at 6 months, but you can go back even farther, and you can track how your portfolio has done over time. And you see there's a big, what I call a cliff back in, it looks like probably August of 2018. And that's when you made a big deposit. So starting from there, maybe it's more beneficial to look at just 1 year or year to date. And how, how were your accounts impacted during the COVID sell-off? How have they recovered? You can just see that graphically right here. But the other part of that is if you'll hit the words personal value, this is where we get to our relatively new investment income view. And this shows clients how much income they will have coming in either last year, this year, or Rob, I know the one you like to look at is the next 12 months. So if we
Absolutely, Mark.
click on that, and that shows you any dividend and interest from stocks that you own, when they're expected to pay dividends, bonds that you own, when they're expected to pay interest, and so on. So
Absolutely.
you
Looks
can
like
track
here in
that over
August,
time.
yeah, looks like in August, we're going to get a whopping 3 cents worth of interest from something in one of these accounts and a little over $50 worth of dividends. I do like the view forward because I think it gives us a good idea of how to potentially plan how income is coming into the accounts. And
Hmm.
specifically, if we're using that money to spend or live off of, it gives us the ability to budget out what we see coming in. All right, I like the income view. Mark, thanks for walking us through both of those. Scrolling down on the summary page, you will see a list of all your accounts. And one thing that Mark referenced is this settings and the little gear there. When you click on that gear, it allows you to toggle which accounts are included in the personal value, which are included in the income view, and which maybe you just even want to show online or toggle off, not even to be able to see. So notice you can go in there and you can do that. That's where you toggle that information. Below the listing of your accounts, okay, you see everything grouped together. You can then see the group combined positions across all accounts. So notice down here we have American Express in 2 accounts. You can quickly click on that to see which accounts you hold that in. Okay, so the little 2 circle tells you hold it in 2. If you see a 3, it's in 3 accounts, obviously, and so forth. And then you can see the combined view of all that information. So lots of great information put there on the summary page under the accounts area. Okay, so let us move forward. Next to the accounts area, the summary page, is we do have a balance area. So in the balance area, you can check on your combined balances within all the accounts, or you may look at a specific account to check on how much money you have in the account or how much money you have the ability to spend. So notice very quickly right here, you see your combined view in a pie chart. You can see the coloring, which account corresponds, and how it makes up all of the account. Looking below, you can see a quick breakdown on an account by account basis, the funds available that you do have. To the right of the balances is our positions area, where you can look at the positions within an account. This is where you can find cost information also. Mark, can you walk us through a little bit about how you see clients use their positions page?
Yeah, first of all, you start with this summary, and it's very similar to what we looked at on the summary page. But then as you scroll down, then you get into the detail for each particular account. And scroll down to an account where we have multiple positions in there. There we go. So the individual account, they've got several different companies in there. And some of the things you can see in here are what the last price is of the stock. And by the way, that's real time as this window is opened. You see the quantity of shares you have, and where you see those 4-digit fractional shares, that comes from dividend reinvestment. You can see the day change in percentage, price, gain loss, and because this is a demo account, we don't have cost basis in there. But you can also choose things like what's the dividend yield for each particular stock, and then what is the percentage of that in the account. So in this account, Kraft Heinz is almost what I would call a rounding error, less than 1%. Now that could double or go to 0 and you'd never notice it. That's why I call it a rounding error. But you also have a large concentrated position in Microsoft, which makes up 44% of the account. So that's what that is somewhat useful for. Next to that, you have the Schwab equity rating. If it's a bond, we'll have the maturity and all that. So those are many of the things that people look at. There's a lot more information you can put in here. And Rob, if you'll scroll back up, you'll see where we can actually select the pieces of information that we want to see.
Mark, I'm going to point out one last thing, because at the very end is one thing that I know clients look for is they want to be able to reinvest their dividends. Notice at the very last column is where you can see whether or not that security is set up for dividend reinvestment. And then you can actually click on, notice that there are a hyperlink. That is where you can click on it to toggle whether you want the dividends reinvested going forward, which we will do at no charge to you.
Actually, if you go back to that side thing for just a moment, there's one other thing to point out. Go all the way over to the right, and you see that the little drop-down menu box. So from here, you can immediately go to buy or sell shares, check out charts, news, set price alerts, and so on. So all of those things are one mouse click away over on the far right-hand side.
Absolutely.
Now,
I would say, I know we went through a redesign of this position page not too long ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think there's some dramatic improvements
mhm.
done with it for that type of information.
One more thing, Rob, scroll down
Sure.
below the accounts above the top account, and then go all the way over above the top account, and go all the way over to the right. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, there it is. If you look at the settings, the gear, That's where you can choose which pieces of information you want to see, or if you don't care about what the margin requirement is, you can just uncheck that and get it out of there. So it's like ordering off a menu at your local restaurant. These are the pieces of information. There you go.
Perfect. Perfect. All
Remember
right.
to keep asking questions, folks. It's awfully quiet out there. We normally
Absolutely.
can't get to everybody's, but hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. Send us some questions.
Well, it's only 5 a.m. in Hawaii, so there you
That's
go. Maybe
true.
they're not up
That's
yet.
part of it.
So to the right of positions, we have performance information. So one of the things we do provide is where you can go in there and look at the performance of your accounts, and you can compare that on an account basis as a whole, compare it to different asset classes, compare it to different benchmarks, you name it. So we big fan of being able to look at your performance. And obviously, if you're not getting the performance that you feel or you're taking too much risk, please talk to us. We will help you develop not only an investment plan, but a financial plan around everything that you're trying to accomplish, because we want to make sure you reach the goals that you have set out for yourself. Finally, to the right of that, we do give a history of the accounts. We do give 2 years worth of complete history here, all transactions. And you can toggle between that. Notice you can look here. So we give 2 years worth of every history in that account, and then we give statement information also. So if you look there under statements, we give you 10 years worth of the statements for the account, your trade confirmations, your tax documents, you name it. Okay. So John from Alabama, I see you just typed in a question. It must have been from Mark's prompting. Um, in the accounts area, if you're wanting to look for actual performance, that would be under the portfolio performance that we just went through. That will give you performance that backs out any deposits or withdrawals that you had. So that is where you want to look, is in the portfolio performance area of the accounts tab.
And you'll notice, Rob, if you over on the right, you'll see below the little gray bar, it says time weighted return. So you can actually choose that, change that to, I believe it's dollar weighted return if you want. I don't know,
Personal
personal
rate of
weighted return.
return. So yeah, we give lots of different ways you can customize and look at that information.
Yep.
Okay. All right, the last thing under the accounts area. Notice we're spending a lot of time in the accounts area because we do see a lot of our clients spend time in there. The very last sub tab under here is called transfers and payments or movement of money. This is the area that you go when you need to move money either internally or externally at Schwab. And we'll start right here at the top, online transfers. So this is the place where you would come and click on when you want to either move money internally from an account to account at Schwab, or from an account at Schwab to an outside account, an external bank account. Okay, so notice right on here, you can link external bank accounts. All of that is done right up here at the top of the page. Okay, no charge for that. So that's all done through an ACH transfer when it goes external, or just done internally through a journal between accounts here at Schwab. Okay. Another way you can send money is through the Fed wire system. If you wish to set up a wire, you can set that up electronically right here. So this gives you the ability to do that either domestically or internationally. Notice the different time frame differences. Finally, if you want to pay your bills, bill pay is one of the great things. Don't have to send envelopes and checks and use stamps. You can set up electronic bill payment from your accounts here at Schwab to pay your bills for you. If you wish to transfer an account from an outside firm into Schwab, yes, we love that. Make your life really easy. Get all that information consolidated in one place. You can set up the transfer right here on the Schwab website. And then finally here right at the bottom, if you do actually need a paper check, it's getting rarer and rarer that you do need one, but you can actually request the check to be mailed to you. Absolutely. So request a check and we will send one out to you. Mark, any last comments about transfers and payments that you see clients bring to you?
No, you hit that absolutely perfectly. I will say that with the online transfers, you can move not just money, but positions between accounts. And I've actually done both of those. It's incredibly easy to do.
Yeah. So I know we got a question in here a little bit outside. Let me ask this to you, Mark. So one of our clients just came over from USAA. We'd like to say welcome to all the folks from USAA. Excited to have you all be part of the Schwab family. I mean, I couldn't think of two firms that make a better mesh together of the values that we all stand for. So the question is from William in Ohio, saying he has four accounts and his wife has one IRA account in her name. Can he add her IRA account to the list of four so that he can get a more consolidated view? Mark, any thoughts on that?
Well, if all the accounts that you have, William, are in your name only, you may need a letter of authorization from your wife to actually add her account to your list. Uh, I'm not 100% sure on that one, Rob.
Yeah, you actually, I think you hit it right there on the head. So if you have legal entitlement to be able to see her account, meaning you are a power of attorney or an
Hmm.
owner of the account that she's on, then you will see it in your drop down. So what I'm thinking there, William, is maybe for some reason you're not power of attorney on there. As soon as you become power of attorney on your wife's IRA account, you will see it in your drop down. And vice versa. If she wants to be able to see your information, you can make her power of attorney on your accounts, and then she'd see your information, your information when she logs in.
Yeah, and I'd like to add my kind of personal welcome to all of the USAA folks. I'm a longtime USAA member myself. It's the only insurance company I've ever had as an adult. But welcome to everybody from USAA. We'll do everything we can to make your life simpler.
Absolutely. And Mark, I know that USA is near to you, being a West Point graduate. Um, it's a great thing. Like I said, I think that the two things that firms think about is their values tend to be very, very similar. It's a great thing. Dale in Indiana. Hey, Dale. I don't know where you are in Indiana, but it's good to hear always from somebody from the Hoosier State. Asked a question about making a custom time frame in the account summary page. So in the summary page, when you're looking at personal value or income value, that's what I'm assuming you're talking about. We do let you take a look only at the standardized places that we have up here right now. I will say this is something new that we've added up there. I think there's always information that we're looking to improve upon to let you look at that information, but really the only standardized right there right now. You may want to go take a look at some of the portfolio performance area where you can make a custom time frame in the performance area.
Yep.
All right, Mark. Let us move on. We spent a great amount of time under the accounts area. Obviously, we've had lots of questions around that. Um, let's move very briefly to the next item here called trade. And notice under trade, you can see all the different financial products that you have the ability to trade here at Schwab. I can think basically, if you have the ability if there is a financial product out there, you have the ability to trade it here at Schwab. You know, a stock, an ETF, and options, and mutual funds, bonds, CDs, futures, you name it. Okay. I'll point out here in the upper left-hand corner, there is a sub-tab called the All-in-One Trade Ticket. This is something relatively new still. We created a ticket that allows you to trade virtually any financial product right from this ticket. Yes, you can click on the trade ticket for a specific financial instrument, or you can just use the all-in-one, and then you can type in the symbol of what you want to trade. Okay, I'm going to type in JWN.
Well, I've heard of those
Nordstrom.
guys.
Yes. So notice JWN is Nordstrom. No, most people don't make that association. So maybe you're just looking for the symbol. You can just type in the name of the company, Nord, and notice I'm typing it in, and then even as you type in the name, we show you all the different information. So there we're typing in the symbol, and then you can choose what you want to trade around Nordstrom. Is it just the stock? Is it an option? Is it one of the option strategies? Below that, you can select your action, buy, sell. We do put a little calculator that if you wish to have us calculate a price, so let's say you want to buy Nordstrom for $15, but you only want to put $2,000 to work into Nordstrom, you can put it by dollar amount, and then we will calculate the number of shares at that price that you could purchase. And notice right over here on the right-hand side of the screen, that's $1,995. It's 133 shares for $15. Okay, we have lots of different order types you can choose from. Note the blue circle. Note the blue circle. Okay, this gives you lots of information where you can quickly read what order types are available so you can educate yourself on which one is most appropriate for your situation and what you're trying to do at that point in time. Okay, we put those little blue dots all over the website. Okay, so we wanted to give a quick demonstration of just using our all-in-one ticket. Notice you can trade lots of other products here. I want to take a quick moment to point out in our trade area, we do give the ability to create a watch list. Mark, can you walk us through a little bit about what a watch list is and how you see individuals use it?
Exactly. So one of the things that we find that people are doing is calling in virtually every day to get prices on the same 10 or 15 companies. And of course, and sometimes when call volumes are higher, they wind up sitting on hold for a bit. But this is why we wanted to talk about the watch list. It literally is a list of companies that you want to watch, keep your eye on. Maybe not things that you own, because those would show up in your positions, but you don't have any of these, you just want to watch them. So if you'll go to, and as you notice, Rob was moving the drop down, so you've got all kinds of different watch lists that you can create. So just to the right of that bar, you see edit list. If you click on that, this is where you can add ticker symbols. You notice that numbers 7 and 8, those are actually preferred stocks. GLOP preferred A, GLOP preferred B. We can eliminate those if we want, and then just add a couple in there just to show that we can do it. JWN, since we found it. Microsoft, yep.
Sure.
You got it. And then Lilly, you're one of your hometown companies out there in Indianapolis.
Sure, we'll add an Indianapolis company. So notice
Sure.
I altered that, and then all I did was hit save. Notice it'll refresh, and we'll see all sorts of information around these companies. So we can quickly look to see what they're trading at, all sorts of information, and then we give you different views. So notice we're just on the quotes page. You can look at, maybe you want to look at price performance of these securities. So what's the last, the change today, the 52-week range, performance relative to the S&P 500, you name it. All sorts of information available in the watch list. I'm sorry, Mark.
And the same box all the way over on the right with the links where you can drop that down, go directly to buy, sell, research, charts, whatever.
You got it. All right. So we looked at accounts, we looked at trade. Let's click on research. I'm moving down the line here. So notice very similar. You can research every product that you can trade here at Schwab, a stock, an option, a mutual fund, an exchange traded fund, okay, bonds, CDs. So you can do research, and I highly recommend you do research before you purchase anything. So research is a great area to go take a look at, lots of information. Notice the default tab under research in the upper left-hand corner is markets. I will point out one thing here. So if you want to research the broad market, this is also where we put our market insight. So notice on the page in the right-hand corner area, I clicked on market insight. This is where you can get commentary from Schwab and our experts on what is going on. Okay, so notice, look here, there's a whole section on markets and economy. The most recent article written was by Jeff Kleintop, our Chief International Strategist, written on May 26th. What's wrong with the rebound is his article around there. And if you want to see the full list of everything we write about the market and economy, you can click on the little hyperlink below that, and you can see a chronological listing of not only everything that Jeff has written, but Colin Martin, David Kastner. I know Liz Ann Saunders writes quite a bit on here, so you can take a look at all of that information. Okay. All of that is available under research. Hey, Mark, can you maybe walk us through a little bit about researching an individual equity?
Sure, let's do that. And type in JWN because there's an interesting aspect to this one.
Yeah. So notice I'm typing it in the upper left-hand corner in the little area, and then I'm clicking on research.
So this will take you to the summary page for equity research for Nordstrom's. And you can see the very first thing you see is a simple line chart, and you can change that time frame from 1 day to 5 years. And if you would, Rob, please click on the 5 years. Let's take the big picture view. And you notice there was a big drop recently. Well, many stocks have that. But in particular, as it pertains to Nordstrom's, they're one of, as of last week, 268 companies to reduce or completely omit their dividend. So one of the other things we can take a look at here as we scroll down this page, you can get a snapshot on earnings and dividends. Now, their last quarterly dividend was 37 cents, but that's already been paid. So they omitted their dividend after that. On the left-hand side, you'll see the most recent news headlines. On the right-hand side, you'll see the research opinions of all of the third-party research that we provide through Schwab, like Morningstar and Ned Davis and so on. And if you're researching a company that you've never heard of before, I think Nordstrom's operates in most parts of the country, but maybe you've never heard of them. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see the business summary. Who are they? What do they do? Where are they located? And there's even a link there to the company's investor relations website. And that's where you can pull up all of the specific earnings data, any presentations they've made to the analyst community, and so on. Now, this is the kind of your first stop. Then you can go into each one of the tabs, which in the interest of time, we're not going to do today. But I typically recommend clients look at earnings, and particularly if it's a dividend paying stock, they look at the dividends tab.
Yeah.
There's a blue
and read through all the reports. I say the other thing is read through all the reports.
Yeah. And then there's a blue link just above where your mouse is. If you just hover over that, that will tell us when the next earnings announcement is coming.
Thursday after the close.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Mark. So notice we've gone through accounts, trade, research. Let's take a quick stop at products. So obviously we have lots of financial products here. You can invest in mutual funds, ETFs. Notice listing here on the left-hand side of the page. We have all sorts of different types of accounts, so retirement accounts. Plus, we also offer a tremendous amount of resources that if you choose not to do things yourself, you would like professional investment management, we have a broad spectrum of different items available to you. And we list them all right here. From our Thomas Partners strategy that is dividend income focused to our global ETF that is portfolio that is actively managed through Windhaven, to some of our standardized portfolio ETF portfolios from Schwab Intelligent Portfolios, or one I know you like to talk about, Mark, the Intelligent Portfolio Premium that builds in getting professional financial planning help from a CFP, certified financial planner, along with the portfolio. So lots of that is available out there for you to explore. Mark, can you maybe tell us a little bit about the bank? I know most people are shocked that Schwab has a bank.
Yep. Before we do that, there's a question from Jerry in Missouri about where do you find the fee that Schwab charges for managed accounts? And the answer is Rob just pointed that out. If you click on each one of those, you'll find what the fee structure is. We won't do that in the interest of time right now, but that's where you would find that.
Yeah, they do go as low as 0. I know in our intelligent portfolio, we do not charge a management fee on those intelligent portfolios. So
Right. And one other quick thing before we get into the bank is there's a question from Bob in Arizona. JWN shows is reporting Thursday. That would be next Thursday because this Thursday has already happened.
yeah,
Okay. And another thing, David in Oregon, thank you for pointing out this is the answer to a previous question about how do you see other people's accounts. And David in Oregon did confirm that they were able to add her to his brother with a POA, and it was, in his words, real slick. Thanks for that. So the bank, one of the best kept secrets at Schwab is that we have Schwab Bank, the 12th largest bank in the country. And not only can we help with the checking and savings like most banks, but we have a partnership with Quicken Loans, which has consistently been the one of the top rated mortgage companies from JD Power. They can offer mortgages and home equity lines of credit. And with Rob, I know you like to point out that with interest rates where they are today, if you have not refinanced recently, probably a good idea to take a look to see if it would be beneficial.
absolutely. Please reach out to us. At least let us take a look, and we can give you some guidance whether or not refinancing is in your best interest to help save you money. You got it.
And another thing that's available through Schwab Bank on the liability management side is the pledged asset line, which many people want to look into. In some cases, let's say a bridge loan or a construction loan while they're building either a new home or a second home. And they find in many cases the pledged asset line where it's basically pledging some securities in your account against a loan. That can be a low cost option as well. Talk to
Absolutely.
your local branch, your local financial consultant to see if that might be right for you.
So notice in the products area, we have lots of information on there. So a lot of products to offer, but I think what it comes down to is, all right, how do I know which potential product is correct for my situation, my goal? Well, I think you can start addressing that in guidance. So notice the guidance tab. So the guidance, I think of this as a lot of education also. So how
Yeah.
to do certain things. So, notice right here on our default guidance page, we talk about our investing principles. Our number one principle is start to develop a plan around what you're trying to accomplish. And then on top of that, not only do we have, financial guidance from retirement or college savings, we also have tax guidance. So really getting you questions, what is available potentially out there, so giving you lots of information around tax education, a lot of good information in here.
Along that lines, Jim in Missouri has a question. Can you research for income tax questions? The answer would be partially here. We don't give specific tax advice. The admonition, you really need to consult with your own tax advisor. There are many different nuances in the tax code, and particularly from state to state as it pertains to state taxes. But nonetheless, this is a place to start.
Yeah. So lots of information under there. The other place I'll point out is under the guidance area, there is the tools section. So we do put lots of little tools and calculators in here that you can quickly run through. That a lot of good things to take a look in there if you want to do a portfolio checkup. I think there was a question previously about some of the pie charts available. So this is a place where you can look in the portfolio checkup. That's also available under the research or the accounts portfolio performance area. So our retirement planning calculator, great information on there. So all of that is available under our guidance area. Okay, the last tab, our service tab. So service is where some of you go to do some of the mechanical things. Maybe you want to change your profile settings, change your password. You can do all of that information on here. Maybe you want to add a nickname to an account. You can do all of that information on there. Okay. Account servicing is where you can get all sorts of forms that you need to fill up. If you want to open up a new account, add your power of attorney. Account settings is a sub tab under here is if you want to add nicknames to your accounts. So instead of just seeing the account number, you can add a nickname to it to call that. Notice on the right-hand side. So there you go. You can quickly take a look. You can add nicknames to your accounts. And finally, we do give an alert service where you can send an email or a text alert to yourself on something happening. So it could be something portfolio related. You just want a closing summary. You want a trade notification when it happens. We do have a whole area under investing insights. I do like clicking on this, even though we're in a dummy account, it doesn't allow us to add it. But to go to investing insights, you can add the market and economy information so that when Jeff Kleintop and Liz Ann Saunders publish new information, you can get an email sent to you when published. And then finally, we do have lots of people that want security alerts. So meaning when a stock or an ETF does something, they want to get a text or an email. And this is where you would go set up that information. You can see the list of what you have set up already. You can add new symbols in the upper left-hand corner, and then you can customize on the right-hand side what happens. And you can add multiple different items. So maybe for those more technical traders, every time it crosses the 200-day moving average, you want to receive an email. Then all you do is hit save. It now updates that information and will send it to your contact information up here.
I think you've covered almost everything that we wanted to do. There's a couple of questions I'd like to get to before we close. First of all, Bob in Arizona, thanks for pointing it out. He's correct. I was dead wrong. Nordstrom reported last night, not next Thursday. One place that you can get who is reporting on any given day. And by the way, that only becomes an issue if something is reporting within the given week. I'm going to pass on to our web team that really needs to be updated so that it shows they reported last night. James and Kinetic, guessing Schwab is purely an online bank. Actually, every single branch is a bank branch office. There may be some exceptions to that for some very small branches, but it really is, you can talk about banking with anybody in the local offices. And I'd hate to say it, but we're absolutely out of time.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say we have a few more here. We just got the okay because we're getting so many questions, Mark, to maybe
oh,
go a
okay,
little bit longer.
that's
So
right.
let me grab here. So William in Ohio. So he said that he had a USAA financial plan that addressed obviously income, investments, tax, etc. And he wants to know, do we have something equivalent? Of course we do. We have multiple different variations of our of a financial plan. You would want to either give us a call or get a hold of one of our local branches, and we can go through all the different types of planning capabilities that we have available that you can access. I do believe we are in the very early stages of process of rolling out some new financial planning tools right available on the website that everybody can access. So we went to the tools area. There's going to be some new items coming there here in the next few weeks that we're adding additional information on there around building yourself a financial plan. But in the meantime, just contact us, give us a call on our 800 number, 800-435-4000. and we can help you set up with somebody to help you with building a plan for yourself. Okay. Other question about adding power of attorney. Yes, you can add power of attorneys. So once you add that, we will store that information for you. I would say we have on the forms area that we went to under the tab, I believe, products. You can
I
add that information on there.
think that's actually in the service tab, Rob, under forms. So hover your mouse over the word service and account servicing forms. I think that's where it
Forms.
is. Yep.
Yeah, actually, I think we actually put it in multiple different areas. That's the nice
Could
thing I
be
like
too.
about our Schwab website is there are multiple paths to get to the same end information. We try to be very, very broad in that. So
Yeah, one other thing, Rob, we must be slipping. We haven't talked about the search box yet.
yes, so yeah, something you can just do up here in the upper right-hand corner, search power of attorney, hit search, type in enter, and you can quickly take a look. So here you're looking at limited power of attorney, all the different types available. So yes, use the search function on there. All right, good questions. I know we had one last question about the performance tab. So if you go under the accounts tab and the sub tab portfolio performance, so I'm clicking on that. Maybe I'm clicking on that. Isn't technology grand at times?
To err may be human. To really mess things up, you need a computer.
Yes.
Well, while you're pulling that up, there's one other question I want to address. Mitch in Michigan, how do you put a complete lockdown on moving money out of your account? You can actually do that from the schwab.com /go-digital, where you can put debit card alerts in there. If you want to lock money in all circumstances, I think that requires a call to the 800 number, doesn't it, Rob?
Yeah, I would give us a call on our 800 number about the different ways you can do that. I mean, we're very careful about money leaving an account. And, there's lots of things that we do secure. I would just give our 800-435-4000 to discuss with one of our representatives all the complete ways that you could put a lockdown on the account. Um, you know, so
I
on top of
apologize,
this,
even with a little extra time, we couldn't get to.
yeah, I was going to say, I
Go
just
ahead,
wanted
Rob.
to mention, one thing I wanted to mention. So people were looking for some of this more performance information. So when, notice we're looking at all accounts here, but you can set up and create custom portfolios or look at it an account by account basis in here. And then you can start looking at your personal performance, the returns that you've had. So all of that is in here. You can look at how much risk you're taking to get those returns in our risk to return area. You can look at asset class performance uh, in that. So if you're looking at the asset class level, lots of pie charts in there. You can look at the performance report, lots of information. Just need to go in there and explore.
Yeah. I apologize, even with a little extra time, we couldn't get to everybody's question, but thanks for keeping them coming. And Rob, I'll let you wrap things up for the day.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody, for lots of questions. If you do have additional questions on our Schwab website, you can always call our 1-800 number. Our representatives there can answer your questions specifically on the Schwab website. Coming up next at the top of the hour is Nina Milovac talking about chart pattern recognition, specifically using the Recognia software. So how to use that information on there. I know later today we'll have charting the markets with Lee Bowl again, and lots of great information still coming the rest of today on Schwab Live Daily. So thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great Friday and enjoy the weekend. Thank you again, Mark.
No
Until next
problem, Rob.
time,
Take care, folks.
absolutely. Thank you and take care.
You know that tech stock we talked about? I picked up 500 shares.
You get in at a good price?
Oh, yeah.
Schwab saved you how much?
It's time to trade up to Schwab, where you get price improvement on 96% of orders and commission-free online trades.
I'll take care of this.
Are you getting complete price transparency? Expect more from your firm. Schwab, the better place for traders.
The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is a technical indicator measuring the strength and momentum behind a stock's recent price moves. It can give you a sense of when a stock might have become over or undervalued and possibly ripe for a reversal. RSI measures how much a stock has gained on its up days relative to how much it's lost on its down days over a default of 14 trading periods. On a price chart, a stock's RSI is plotted as a single line, oscillating within a fixed range between 0 and 100. Generally, when a stock has an RSI reading above 70, it's considered to be overbought and perhaps due for a retreat from recent highs. On the other hand, a reading below 30 suggests the stock may be oversold and could be ready to move higher. As you can see in this example, when the RSI moves near 70, the price tends to weaken afterward. And when the RSI comes down near 30, the price tends to rally. Now, it's important to note that these 70 and 30 readings work best when a stock is neutral, as shown here. However, when a stock is in an uptrend or a downtrend, these levels might not be as reliable because of the buying or selling driving this current trend. In a strong uptrend, for example, a stock's RSI might stay above 70 for longer than it would in neutral conditions, as traders' enthusiasm for the stock drives its price higher. When this happens, a drop from above 70 to below 70 could indicate that the stock is taking a breather on its long push higher. Conversely, when looking at oversold conditions within a strong uptrend, the RSI is unlikely to fall to this classically oversold level of 30. Notice how in this chart, temporary dips below the 50 line are followed by a continuation of the overall uptrend in price. Traders may want to allow the RSI to recapture its 50 line before joining the uptrend. As you might expect, this can also work for downtrends, when a stock's RSI might spend more time below 30 than it would in neutral conditions. In this case, you could use temporary peaks above the 50 line as a signal that the stock is taking a breather from its downtrend. Dropping back below its 50 level could indicate the downtrend is set to continue. Another way to use RSI is to look for divergences from price moves, indicating possible weakness in the current trend. It may also signal an impending reversal of the existing trend. Here we see that the RSI dips as the stock hits a low. Notice how this first dip in the RSI is much lower than the second one, despite the stock's price actually hitting a lower low. A technical trader might look at this lower low in the stock price and see a continuation of the downtrend. However, the divergence between the sharply falling stock price and the modest dip in the RSI could signal that the downtrend is weakened and higher prices may be in the offing. The RSI can be a helpful technical indicator, but it's important to understand its movements in all conditions. To learn more about technical analysis and its practical uses, watch more videos in this series and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You know that tech stock we talked about? I picked up 500 shares.
You get in at a good price?
Oh, yeah.
Schwab saved you how much?
It's time to trade up to Schwab, where you get price improvement on 96% of orders and commission-free online trades.
I'll take care of this.
Are you getting complete price transparency? Expect more from your firm. Schwab, the better place for traders.
You know that tech stock we talked about? I picked up 500 shares.
You get in at a good price?
Oh, yeah.
Schwab saved you how much?
It's time to trade up to Schwab, where you get price improvement on 96% of orders. Schwab, the better place for traders.
Hello, and welcome to the Quick Start video for the all-in-one trade tool available in Schwab's Street Smart Edge platform. The all-in-one trade tool is the most dynamic, advanced trading tool in the Street Smart family of software, offering unprecedented flexibility, particularly around option trading workflow. Open the all-in-one trade tool by going to Launch Tools and selecting the all-in-one trade tool. Like most tools in Street Smart Edge, the all-in-one trade tool has a tabbed interface where you can customize the contents of each tab, making it easier to trade your favorite strategies. Depending on the strategy you select, the trade ticket automatically updates along with the relevant quotes data or option chains. If you often trade, for instance, vertical call spreads, you can create a vertical call spread tab rather than having to set the options tab up for the vertical call spreads each time. If you're an equities-only trader, the default stock ETF tab will be your place to be. It includes NBBO, market depth, and time and sales data. If you want to add a leg, you can quickly turn a stock or option order into a multi-leg order using the Add a Leg button, or remove a leg by clicking the minus button for the leg you wish to remove. As a benefit, when you make changes to the first leg of the strategy, the other legs will be updated to stay within that strategy. The all-in-one trade tool is loaded with data to help you with decisions. Let's start at the top with the title bar and level 1 data. The title bar will display the last trade price, change direction, and change from the previous close, as well as the full name of the company or index and exchange. Right below the title bar is the level 1 data, as well as the order status and position indicators, which show whether our account has open orders or positions in the selected symbol. Customize your level 1 data by clicking on the gear icon. In addition to the standards, bid, ask, high, low, open, close, and volume, you can also select data such as 52-week high or low, put call ratios, and implied volatility rank and percentile, and many more. Other data available in the all-in-one trade tool includes the trade and probability calculator and top movers. The trade and probability calculator shows a visual representation of the risk-reward of an options strategy to help you quickly assess option trade risk based on the price of the underlying on certain dates, using the Black-Scholes option pricing model. It also plots the theoretical probability of the underlying symbol at any point in time up to the expiration date. The top movers will display the top volume, top gainers, and top decliners for a single underlying symbol. This concludes this quick start guide for the all-in-one trade tool for Street Smart Edge. Please check out the Learning Center and the online help manual, both of which are located under the Help menu. Additionally, you can visit the calendar on schwab.com/live for a schedule of upcoming live platform videos. Thank you for choosing Charles Schwab, and have a great day.
Live from Schwab Studios, this is Schwab Live Daily.
Welcome back to Schwab Live Daily. I'm Nina.